Men are NPCs according to modern women on TikTok. Non-player characters. So we're just random folk, random crap, dodgy AI people in this modern world that the protagonists, the main characters, which are women, yeah sure, have to interact with. Thus, they see us as, very dull. Bare minimum, NPCs. It's like the lack of interactive options we have as men makes women understand that we're not even real human beings. We're just artificial replicants. Yeah, you're all replicants, men. You're all tarnished with this synthetic brush. Yeah? You don't have to call yourself a shitty robot. You can call yourself a replicant. Be sophisticated. You call me a dog woman. I'm high breed. You call me an NPC. I'm the GOAT of NPCs. Don't get it twisted.
Just a helpful tip if you work in customer service but are not confrontational. 4 seconds of silence is perceived in the brain as rejection. So if someone is being difficult or shitty to you, just stare at them blankly for 4 seconds, count in your brain.
There's something so uninteresting in knowing that 99% of men are just raised wrong. That they're kind of like NPCs, like they're like non-player characters. They're like non-player characters.
Wow, so 99%, so pretty much every single one of you listening, including myself, there's one bastard out there that's like, yeah, I'm human. Yeah, you lucky bastard. So pretty much all of us as men, we're just so dull, so crap, so linear, if you will, that we're basically non-player characters. Do we even have thoughts and feelings? Imagination from a man, please. No. In this world of all powerful, modern, independent women, you can understand why they would see us as useless shells of men. Why would we be anything to a woman that can do everything herself, that needs a man for nothing more than entertainment and probably some sexual pleasure? Because, she can just buy tools. She can buy tech to please herself. She can get a dog to protect herself. And why have a man for pleasure when she can have a silicone knob that she can use to feck herself? Feck off. Interesting.
There's something very uninteresting about that. And I just kind of got over men in general at that point.
Silence! Wow. You sure you're not just scorned and bitter? You just can't stand men anymore? It's not that men are just NPCs. You just probably dated some crap men. You've probably dated NPCs. You dated some low quality men and you thought that was all men. Because probably it was low quality men that, probably gave you attention.
They're like non-player characters.
I'm thinking about texting him. My heart enjoys being around you.
They've been calling women low value and comparing them to used cars every time they've had access to a microphone. But it feels uncomfortable to hear it about yourself because it hasn't historically been done. You're not used to seeing men judged solely on their physical appearance instead of who they are as a person.
What is she talking about? We're judged not only on that, but on so many other things as well that women don't have to stress about.
But all of history, men have never been valued by who they are as a person. It's only a luxury that women have had. Their primary value doesn't even come from their appearance. It's just an added bonus. The primary value of men in most societies has come from what they can provide. And half the internet is women degrading and minimizing men openly if they don't make more than 6 figures.
Exactly. How on earth could an NPC hit 6 figures easily when many of these women who are supposedly main characters are struggling to do that? Like every woman's on 6 figures.
That is bullshit.
No, they're not. So if so many men are NPCs, obviously I'm taking the piss. How are they supposed to do that? Thankfully, a lot of NPC men are able to do that, surprisingly, even with their lack of interactive skill, their default code and data. Please.
There's a whole side of feminist TikTok, the lucky girl syndrome, that revolves around minimizing men who don't make less than 6 figures, telling them that they're worthless, and this is open on the internet. And I see no problem to people who have a preference for financial security. However, the same females that have a preference for financial security are the first ones to get offended when a man has a preference for physical appearance. But realistically speaking, it's a lot easier to be prettier. It's a lot less work to be prettier than it is to maintain a full-time job that provides more than 6 figures. And I'm going to get so much hate for saying this. And this is coming from somebody who makes more than 6 figures. And I'm not encouraging either behavior from men or women here. I'm just putting it out on the open. Because a lot of feminists today like to act like men have had it so easy. In our present day and age, women are valued simply for existing. We're valuable. Men, on the other hand, are only valuable if they have a job, if they provide well. And that's a contributing factor to why men make up 80% of...
Men have to achieve. A lot of men can rest on their looks, but they have to be very good looking and have no motivation at all. Be willing to lay under a woman and have her just provide.
Seriously, that's trash.
There are a lot of those men around, so women can easily find those men. But the point is, in general, men have to do. Men have to be. This is why I don't use alpha male and beta male stuff, because it's like, that doesn't make sense.
Nope.
Because if that were the case, a lot of men wouldn't become alpha males until they were older. And some men would peak early and become alpha males just because of the position that they were in. If they can't sustain it, then they're no longer an alpha male, they're now a beta.
Bitch.
If money is what makes them an alpha and they lose their money, what, they're now beta.
I'm broke.
So there are too many variations, and it's modern times. You can't use, personally, I think, the alpha and beta to describe men. You can clearly see some men are more masculine than other men. That's kind of obvious. More alpha in modern times in society, capitalism. No, it doesn't make sense to me.
And the rate of deaths for men increase after the age of 60 because they feel useless. 1 in 6 men have been SA'd. Men make up 40% of domestic violence victims. And yet there's virtually almost no help for men who are domestically abused, who are SA'd. Men's mental health is not taken seriously in society at all, which is why we're seeing such a high suicide rate for men. Because being a good person has nothing to do with their gender. There's bad men and there's bad women. The only problem is in society, we continuously encourage women to objectify men solely based off of what they can provide. And then we turn around and act like victims. Because if you want to talk about historically, history was only great for less than 0.01% of men. Because historically speaking, men were born and died in the same social class, while women could scale social classes simply by marrying up and being pretty. Because in our country, in our society, for most of US history, men who didn't own property could not vote. And I don't say this to side with the women who are doing this or the men who are doing this. I'm pointing out the hypocrisy. History was only great for the very, very rich, which was less than like 0.01% of the population, realistically speaking. And we use a history of what happened to women to currently attack all men today.
But I'm a very good loser.
Better than I am.
I'm not gonna love you. I just want you to love me. I just want you to love me.
A lot of y'all want a woman to let you lead. You guys love that, to be a leader, you know? And then you get really upset that women won't allow you to lead. But the best indication...
Y'all, when women get rejected, oh, it's deep.
I can't.
I don't know what it is,
I know.
but we do not handle it well.
You know, all those TikToks that say being in your 30s is the best time ever for women. You're thriving, you give less fucks, you're earning more than ever, your career's at an all-time high, maybe you're popping a kid out, blah, blah, blah. I just can't relate. So I want...
When I was younger, I just assumed that if a girl had a boyfriend, she couldn't possibly like you. So when I saw a girl that I thought was cute and she had a boyfriend, I just immediately canceled her out in my mind because I thought, oh, she has a boyfriend, she couldn't possibly like me.
Man, every time something goes bad, you can't detach every single time. You want to be a hoe. You want to go back to the streets. Get some motherfucking decorum.
No. Bitches be mad at me because I'm the baby mother. Bitch, I'm fucking mad myself. What the fuck? You fucking lucky. I wish I was you. I wish I got away. The fuck?
Thus, you have NPC men. Yeah. Because now that women have the power, they're showing us that they're better people than we were as men historically. Yeah, all the nice, lovely, delicate, lovely women we have now. Bruh. Social media would say no.
Femininity coaches are selling you the fantasy that you will be able to break into generational wealth.
Men at different stages of their lives, they prioritize different things. In the building stage of his life, he will prioritize a woman who is frugal, good with money, and just overall low maintenance. Because at this point in his life, he just wants to focus on his work, focus on his business, and growing his wealth. But when he becomes wealthy and successful, his priorities for what a good partner should be for him changes. So now he's going to prioritize someone who will show his success, who will be a good status symbol. This explains the Sawyer wife phenomenon. A man replaces his first wife who helped him build his empire with a possibly younger, prettier woman who can better communicate his new status.
Disgusting.
Okay. Honestly, very good points. Very good points. Rather than insulting and belittling men, she's trying to understand as a woman why some men change their options in women as they go through life. You know, a lot of men would. A lot of men would, like she said, depending on where they are in life. Now, as men, we know this, but it's good when women understand it, and it's not just now he wants to date different women. Oh, he wants to date younger women now. It's not even that. All men don't even want to date younger women. Some men just end up having to because the women their own age, they're too difficult and they can't understand
It's crazy.
where a man is in his current empire. A younger woman, she may be willing to understand it and know her position compared to a woman who's your own age and thinks she knows better and ends up ruining your empire. I'm just saying, there are more than enough women your own age that can actually help you improve and expand your empire. But a lot of men know what they're doing to the point where they just want a woman to be there more than try to come in and change anything.
I'm not saying this is all men, but I'm just saying this is a phenomenon and keep this in mind when dating.
I'm aware that I'm not a man and I will never be a man. However, I'm not willing to debate what I'm about to say. So I low-key feel like now that I've healed and I look at relationships differently, men get the short end of the stick because you're not allowed to be sensitive, but how dare you not talk to me about how you feeling? Don't be emotionally constipated, but if you tell me too much how you really feeling, then I don't believe that you're man enough for me.
Yep.
I don't want you to be this superhuman all the time, but you can't take that S off your chest. Do not sit the world down off of your shoulders around me because I'm not willing to pick it up and help shoulder it. You can't have boundaries. You can't have standards. You can't require a woman bring something to the table that you set before she was even in the picture. Exactly. You're not allowed to have a broken heart. You're not allowed to be afraid of love. You're not allowed to have walls. You're not allowed to be vulnerable. There are so many things that the world will not allow you to do, but they also expect you to do the same thing. You know what I mean? They'll expect you to do the same thing. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. Women wonder why so many men have barriers and layers and so many things. Well, why wouldn't they? Men through their entire life have had to learn how to navigate how they feel about life, what they can and can't talk about, and how to actually do life without ever fully expressing their feelings and somehow still be seen and respected as a man. But you can't ever show too much what really gets to you. Yeah, so sometimes be a machine, sometimes be the most loving, caring man on the planet, but then switch it off and be a machine, and then, so on and so forth. But never ever fully talk about how you feel as a man. Pretty much. Yeah, it's pretty much. That's it.
So many things that the world will not allow you to do, but they also expect you to do the same thing. You know what I mean?
Men can seem like NPCs to a lot of women simply because a lot of men have had no choice but to be as robotic as possible, to do machine-like as much as possible, just to be seen as a man. Have a nice day.